Hello, and welcome back to the Coop De Villa channel. I'm here with Noah Fisher to discuss Aston Villa versus Club Brugge from the round of 16, second leg of the Champions League. Wow, what a night. Great result. Bit nervy in the first half, but we kind of got the job done. And we look forward now to a quarterfinal clash with PSG. It was a magical night, and we will be bringing you all of that and much more after this. And yes, welcome back to Coop De Villa Live. I'm Scott Cooper. I'm here with Noah Fisher. We're here. We're ready to go. It was Champions League night last night. Noah, we had the 3-1 lead Villa going into the game, and I think a lot of us were confident we'd make it through, and we did that. Maybe the first half was a bit annoying, a bit kind of frustrating for a lot of people out there because there was obviously the red card, which was huge for us. And I think pretty much killed the tie right there and then. But Villa did sort of kind of, I don't know, it was a bit underwhelming, the performance in the first half, a bit, not many chances, not many shots on goals. I thought actually Bruges played quite well with 10 men and kept the ball well in that first half. But, it was that guy again, Asensio, just can't stop scoring.
He's a star, isn't he? Pick up the phone. Credit to Club Brugge. Credit to Club Brugge. Like it's they came to play. They had probably played very, very well in the first half, and credit to them. Even with 10 men, they had a couple of good chances and controlled the ball quite well. And we were sitting a bit deeper. It was a bit of a weird one, It kind of was like we set up like we did against Brentford, just quite deep and let them attack us a little bit. And our class shone through in the second half, didn't it? Like when you can bring on players like Asensio and literally just like Asensio, it's ridiculous. He was on our bench and he just does what he's been doing for Aston Villa. That's 7 goals for us since he's come in, and he's playing against his parent club in the next round. I still can't believe I'm saying that Aston Villa playing PSG. Like it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real.
It's wild, and we'll get into the quarterfinal draw in a bit. But hi to Michael, hi to Richard, hi to everyone in the chat. Great to see you all. And make sure you like and subscribe if you're new, because we're going to be putting out plenty of videos in the next coming weeks because Villa got many games. We're in 3 competitions, and we're going to be covering all of it here on Coop De Villa. So make sure you hit the notification bell, and you'll know when we go live. And get in the chat. We want to hear where you're from, where you're watching from, where you watched the game last night from. And how did you feel? I mean, at halftime, like I said, it was a bit nervy, but it was never really in doubt. I mean, we had the 2-goal lead. We had the advantage of 11 men against 10. And, like you said, Asensio, he's such a great player, so on fire. And him and Rashford seem to be on this wavelength where they're looking for each other. Asensio knows when to run. Rashford knows where to cross the ball, and it's so good to see, and it's just the injection we needed in January because we were looking a little bit light in some areas, a little bit stale. Maybe the team were struggling a little bit for form and consistency, and those 2 guys and Disasi as well and Garcia have really sort of freshened the squad up, and it's 4 wins in a row now.
We're peaking at the right time, if you want to say, Scott. I know we've left us some distance to pick up in the Premier League, and that's never going to be easy. I remember John McGinn saying his post-game press conference, we've been quite poor in the league, but 4 wins in a row. We haven't lost at Villa Park in a very, very long time. It's a fortress there. And look, I said...
Two clean sheets.
That's true. That's true. I said in one of the previous pods that the first goal was so important. And I think, although it wasn't a goal, the red card killed the game for me. Once I saw the red card, I was lucky enough, thanks to my boss, he put it on at work, and me and the boys were watching it only for the first half. We got a bit busy after that, but it wasn't the best half to watch. But it's crazy. It's crazy. The red card, I said, killed it. I thought that free kick from Tielemans was goal bound, by the way. I thought, geez, Rashford will strike this, would be great. But
I was expecting Rashford.
Yeah, well, that's probably what everyone was expecting, and that's why Tielemans up striking it. It was a good strike. Probably just need a little bit more on it, but the atmosphere as well, Scott. We haven't really touched about that. If anyone had one of those scarves spare, by the way, I know someone in Australia that would like one of those scarves, and his name's Noah and does the Coop De Villa podcast. But if anyone has a spare one, just let me know. It'd be great. It looked unreal. The photos looked unreal. The fireworks. It was absolutely amazing. And you feel jealous over here, don't you, Scott? Like when you see all these guys having a great time, speaking of Owen and stuff, and how great the experience was. And what a season. It's honestly like I feel so proud and privileged to have been through what we went through like 5-6 years ago in the championship, and to be reaping the rewards now and have a chance to go back-to-back seasons in it. It's great.
Look at this from Michael. He was with the Prince William sitting nearby. That's quite something. Well, that would have been quite an experience. But yeah, we had the tifo as well, which I love, with the gas lamp. With the a lot of people were asking. I was listening to the BBC podcast, and they didn't know what the gas lamp meant. They said, because they knew last time we had Ozzy Osbourne, and they were wondering what they'd deliver. But
that's poor from them if they don't know what the gas lamp means.
Yeah, well,
that's pretty poor.
Yeah, but they asked around, they found out, quickly.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so.
I've been loving the tifos. I've been loving the fireworks. I know like a few people have been saying, well, the fireworks are cringe. It's just another game type, but no, we're trying to do something unique.
We're doing it our way, Scott. We're doing it our way.
We're trying to enjoy the moment. I mean, this is really special for us. And like, if you're a fan of a team that's been in the Champions League a lot, it's a different situation for us. Like we've come from, being in the playoffs for the Premier League to being in the quarterfinals of the Champions League in like 5-6 years. It's unbelievable. And we've got our club back as well. How many years was it before that when we were in the Premier League and we were finishing 14th, 15th, not really signing anyone, kind of Randy Lerner not spending any money, just going through the doldrums, like just sort of, going round the plug hole, constantly. And, it was just a matter of time until we finally did go down. And, and then if I'd said to you back then, when we started this podcast, even when we were in the Premier League during COVID, right, that we would be in the Champions League, like we would have like laughed at each other. So it's crazy.
It feels like a FIFA career mode, Scott, and I always say that because I think my new background on my phone is Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio playing for Aston Villa, and I still pinch myself. Like it just
unbelievable.
I'm not sure
there's been a lot of
being
talk
over there and the media and stuff, but like being amongst it just must be so much more special. I was only there a few months ago. Unfortunately, didn't get to go to a Champions League, and that's one of my regrets. I wasn't unable to go to a game, but watching it from afar is just as special, isn't it? Like
absolutely. And just think of the names we've had come to Villa Park, the places we've gone to, and the PSG is going to be, I think, that at a different level, because
it's going to be special.
We're going to have the eyes of the world on us in that game because, maybe similar to the Bayern game in some ways, but it's going to be, it's do or die. It's two legs. We're playing against a team that's just knocked out Liverpool.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying they're the favourites. I would still say probably Real Madrid, even though maybe they're not playing their best. But they're certainly probably the most informed team in Europe right now. And it's going to be a huge, huge test. But we've got the second leg at Villa Park, which I think is a huge bonus. I was actually not too sure a couple of days ago. where the second leg would be, but I'm really glad that it is at Villa Park because, if we can go to Paris and get a decent result, even a defeat that's like by, say, one goal, then I think we can really, cause them some issues at Villa Park because we cause everyone issues at Villa Park. It doesn't matter if you're
100%.
Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. We've given everyone a game at Villa Park this season and in previous seasons as well. So
100%.
Yeah, I'm not really scared.
The only game we've lost was Arsenal, wasn't it? That's the only game we've lost at Villa Park this season. It
was Palace in the League Cup as well.
Palace in the League Cup.
But with that, no one was taking that seriously for some reason. But it was a bit of a silly team and a weird atmosphere that night. But look, the second half was great.
It was.
It was a totally different team. We were knocking the ball around quicker. We were pressing them quicker. We were, using the wide spaces. Rashford down one side. Bailey came on, and Asensio came on. Bailey, great assist for Asensio's first goal.
So he's starting to do a lot of good things.
He is.
Bailey, and I think he's not getting noticed a lot of the time, but I thought he was sensational.
Yeah, underrated assist, that one, because, a little flick with the outside of your foot to sort of bend it into that little gap. And Asensio's finish on his non-preferred, absolutely clinical, because that's not an easy strike. The ball's coming from behind you. You've got to twist and turn, and you've got to hook it in. And he put it straight in the top corner, got power behind it. Great finish.
Absolutely class that. It looked just... He just looks so calm. I don't think I've seen a player play like him in this sort of run of form in a very long time in an Aston Villa shirt. Like, to come in, hit the ground running like this, from never played in the league.
Well, he'd be our third top goal scorer.
He'd be up there.
He's our third. I think he is our third top goal scorer behind Watkins and Duran, who's left. But he's absolutely killing it. And another guy who's killing it is Rashford, setting up the chances. He was unlucky not to get a goal himself. He had a few good efforts, but one guy who did get a goal, first goal for Villa, Ian Maatsen.
My man.
Who was probably a bit of a surprise selection. I mean, I think he wanted to freshen up a bit. We had Matty Cash in for Tasasi as well, which I thought was a bit of a surprise. But, who am I to question Unai? And Boubacar Kamara started this game, came off a half-time, which I think maybe got hooked. I'm not really sure what happened there, but because he didn't have a great first half. But I guess the only negative of the night is Ollie Watkins came off with what looked like an injury. I'm not sure if it was a serious injury or just precautionary.
I haven't heard anything. So I'm going to say I don't think it was that serious. Normally, social media is firing up if it is, especially Scott Cooper with no other striker.
That's right. It didn't look too bad, I think, and the fact that we'd already scored at that point and the game was done. I think. Well, we hadn't scored actually. It was 0-0 at halftime, but I think the fact that there was a red card and he didn't want to risk it, so he came off. And look, it was a job well done. It was a good atmosphere in the second half once we get going. It was a bit nervy in the first half when we weren't playing that well, but everyone had a great time. It was a good night, and we are into the quarterfinals. And there was a lot of talk about Asensio signing for us on a permanent this week, and
I've seen that. Yeah,
I think the talk is, or the rumors are, that we are going to sign Asensio, but possibly not Rashford, just because it's going to be hard for us to get them both done. So I don't know. I don't know if that's right or not, but because I think we could get Asensio for 15 million euros.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Which is a steal, yeah. So, look, get it done, please, because this guy is on fire. He's playing with a smile on his face. He's not even playing, from the start. He's just coming in and,
he's doing his role.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he's a bit different to all our other players as well. He's clever on the ball. He finds these little spaces, and he runs into areas where he can get a goal, and he's been putting them away. So good on him.
100%. And that's what it's about taking your chances. I know we say like Rashford's, been doing so well. What, he's got 4 assists or something for Asensio in a Villa shirt, maybe even more. But it's just like in the first leg when Leon Bailey thundered that one in, like you just go take your chances. And that's what we, especially over 2 legs, I think that's something we've done very, very well. And I'll probably say over a month ago, we were missing big chances and stuff. And that's why we're in the position we are in the league. But I reckon we just look like the Emery team from when he first came in defensively and going forward now as well.
Absolutely. Jeff had a comment here saying that it looks like, there was some talk about we lost 200 million in 2 seasons.
Yeah, I did see that.
But I think from a PSR financial fair play point of view, we're still okay because we have sold players.
Yeah.
We sold Duran, obviously, which I think will make us okay for next season. And we're like, even though it's not great that 95% of our revenue goes on wages, that's something that can't be sustainable. But I think the thinking behind the owners and Chris Heck and these guys that are, in charge of the finances is it's gonna be a bit of a struggle for a while, but we can get this club to a place where our revenue is going to be more competitive.
And keep getting European football is just going to keep benefiting that. That's why it's so important to, even if it's Europa League, Conference League, just keep getting European football. I think we got like over £10 million for progressing to the next stage of the Champions League, which is crazy money.
It's huge. And the FA Cup as well, if we could get, to the final, win it even, then we play in the Charity Shield. It's like, it's just, it stacks on top of success brings success and brings the money that you need. So, we've got to keep going in all the competitions. We've got to, prioritize them all. We can't rest players on one thing or another, because even if we, even just for finishing, say, 5th instead of 6th, well, maybe 6th instead of 7th, let's say, like in the Europa spots, you get an extra £1 million or so for just finishing in a higher position. So we got to really focus on that side of it. And I think I don't think it's going to be a massive summer in terms of like buying players, but if we could pick up Asensio and Disasi and maybe Rashford as well on just like turn those loans,
I'd be happy.
Permanent deals. Yeah. And maybe, loan a second striker, because I still think we need that second centre forward, especially if we're in Europe. Rashford can play there. Marlon, can play there too, but I don't think that's their best position.
I do get what you mean. You mean. And that's why I was very surprised. Like when you think of the start of the season, we had Archer and Duran, and we had to sell one of them, like to give opportunity and whatnot, and don't have one. And there's not really anyone coming out. Like there's a few good players in the academy that know of. Like obviously had a good run in the European League and stuff, but no one is going to do a massive job now, if you know what I mean. So obviously I think that will happen. I'm not sure who it will be. It could be someone on a free. Wait and see. Like I remember later on the January transfer, we hadn't signed anyone, and people were saying keep the faith, and I'm keeping the faith I have for such a long time, and the players and the people that we have at the top of this club are exactly what we want. And there are clubs that are jealous of how we're run.
Yeah, and we're not reckless. We're not crazy. When you hear about what's happening at Manchester United at the moment with Ratcliffe's interview, where he said they were going to run out of money. A club like Man United, it's crazy to think that's the truth. I don't know if it is, because the next day they announced they're going to build a $2 billion stadium. So, I mean, it's wild. Just like these clubs don't get PSR issues, but we have PSR issues. We have to sell Douglas Luiz. We have to sell John Duran. We have to sell like all our young players like Irabunum and Kelly Oberman. Who's the guy we sold to Chelsea? Kellyman. Yeah, I got the two names mixed up.
I know.
Yeah, Kellyman. Yes, and others as well. Like there's talk about people selling. People saying selling Ramsey or these kind of young homegrown players, and I don't want to see
how
that.
good is he going, by the way?
He's doing quite well. Yeah, he did well when he came on again. I thought.
Yeah,
and look, he's everyone seems to be playing well. We're getting everyone back. Anana was back on the bench. Pau Torres came off the bench.
Was so strong.
It
just seems like we're going to make such a good run at something this year. If it's back in the league.
We're hitting form at the right time here, Noah.
Yeah. And do you know who I actually think we have been missing? Ross Barkley.
He's the only one to come back. The only one still missing.
Yeah, because it ends up being like an MCL injury for Ross. And he's someone that we could bring on just off the bench. And he was so reliable, so calm on the ball and whatnot. But having Onana back, having, when we get Barkley back, Kamara's back, Torres is back, like it is just, it's going to be great. It's going to be, as long as I say it's going to be great. And I'm so excited, obviously, for Preston in the
that's it. That's our next game, and that's a while away.
I think it's 18 days. Someone said we got off. Let me see if I can find it.
The 30th of April is our next game.
I know it's gonna be weird, Scott. Like I don't have a team to make me angry or something for a little bit. I think 18 days rest.
Yeah, so
we'll make sure we get some content in. By the way, I'd love to do another quiz. I'd love to beat someone else. Someone else bring on.
We'll definitely have a
calling out Nick Thompson, Owen's dad.
Oh, an episode next week. That'd be good. We can do a quiz and we can do a bit of a catch up, maybe a bit of a Q&A. But the Preston game is massive now. We've got to keep this run going. We got to. The players are going to Dubai for a bit of warm weather training. The ones that aren't going on the international break, so that'll be good for them. And I think that's. Going on one of those breaks, after 4 wins in a row is way better than after 4 losses in a row. You know what I mean? Like it's the players now can sort of, get those niggles out, get a bit of sun, do a bit of training, bit of bonding, Yeah. I mean, when Arsenal went over there, I think last season.
We went over there 2 seasons ago, I think.
Yeah, but they came back and went on a massive run, a good run. So hopefully we can do the same. And look, got some massive games like Preston, Brighton, and then
that league run is massive. Like it is absolutely massive, and we've got to win 6 of our last 9 if we want to try and make top 5, maybe 7. Like it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But the thing is, the way we're playing right now, as people are saying, like I don't fear anyone. At our best, we can beat anyone, and I'm so excited.
Yep, I think. I think that's right. And like,
do you remember this
Jim said, like Jim says here, things were looking pretty bleak for in a period there. We couldn't win a game away from home. We we were having some disappointing draws at home. We sold Duran, which, was good for the money, but, left us a bit short. But then we get in Rashford, we get in Asensio, we get into Sassy, we start winning games. We're now keeping clean sheets. So fingers crossed we get another one against Preston, look, the defense is looking solid. People are coming back from injury. Unai is making changes at halftime and changing games like he has been, for so long, but maybe he lost a bit of that,
maybe.
There was a few games where, like the Palace game, I think, didn't really work out for him. He made some.
But if there's anyone that's going to know they got it wrong and how much Emery reviews matches, it's going to be Emery. He's going to be kicking himself when things don't go his way with changes and whatnot. And he's going to be reviewing Preston like it's no tomorrow. Like he's going to be. It's the next game. You got 18 days to plan for this game. I'm not sure how many games Preston play, but they'll probably play 3 in that time. They'll probably play a Saturday, a Tuesday sort of situation. So
absolutely,
we're going to be absolutely fresh. What are your thoughts on what Ken says here? I've been so happy with Tyrone since he's come back. Like he's been amazing.
He brings just like an air of calmness and sort of familiarity to that back line. Do you know what I mean? It's like, he's almost, like a sort of a mythical creature in that back line. Do you know what I mean? Like he's someone that just like completes the team. He's like a spiritual, yogi back there, like just marshalling the defense.
He has
leadership.
Aura. He has aura. I will say that.
And, is he the best on the ball? No. Is he, but he makes up for that in effort, in the way he reads the game, in the way he, marshals the troops, and I've found since he's been back and playing well, we haven't had these collapses, like which we saw for a bit of that where, we let 1 goal in, like against Newcastle. Yeah. We let 2 or 3 in, bang, 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 and, we just, the consistency is starting to return. It's looking good. I mean, like we've still, it's still all up for grabs. Like if we got 100%. Knocked out by Preston, if we got our pants pulled down by PSG, I mean, it wouldn't be embarrassing, but it would be a little bit of a downer, right? We've still got to finish strong. And this will be where we're judged if our season is a good one or not. If we can finish in those European positions, hopefully Europa League or better.
Exactly.
Then that's good, right? That's a positive. If we could get to a final or a semi-final of an FA Cup, I think that's a positive. If we can go out against PSG and put up a good fight, and hopefully progress. But even if we don't go out with a good performance, with a fight, then I think we would take that.
To fight for everything right now.
That's right.
I don't know. Let's say we have 14 games left in our season. Let's say it's about 49 in the league. Hopefully 3 in the cup and 3 in the Champions League.
We won't be 3. It'll be 2, 4, or 5.
Yeah, hopefully. I meant 5. You know what I mean? Like 3 matches. Like I count like the legs. Yeah, like the same match, but
it could be Emery, right? Knocking out his previous club in PSG, and then if Arsenal, knocked out Real Madrid, it could be knock out his other previous club in the semi.
It'd be dreamland.
We are sort of kind of looking a bit forward there. I mean, let's just go over to Paris and do a good job and put in a good performance. Where's my guy with the hat? That's Tommy.
He's in China.
And, he's in China at the moment, so
for work.
He will be back soon. And we're going to have Owen on very soon too. And while we have this big break, we'll all get together and have a quiz. So.
I'm excited. I love winning. I love winning Aston Villa quizzes. It's my favorite thing to do.
I've got some tenables coming up, so make sure you join us for those. So any other news or anything you want to touch on?
Not really. Great time to be a Villa fan. Answering Jeff's question, Joe Gashi's on loan at Barnsley for the rest of the season. So I haven't seen he's been playing actually. I'm not gonna lie, I don't suss Barnsley very often, but I have to see how the great man's going. But
right.
What a game, Scott. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, yeah.
Huge.
I think that's all we got.
And these Villa Park European nights are just
they're special.
They're to be cherished. And
if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's try to see if we can get 900 subs by the end of the year.
Yeah, let's do it. And let's hope we have some more nights at Villa Park. We're going to have at least one against Paris Saint-Germain. So let's hope we can, bring that same atmosphere and spirit and, hopefully get through. So, so we'll be back next week with a bit of a different episode. So make sure you join us then. Fantastic, Noah, as always. Up the Villa, and we will see you next week. Catch you later.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.